time for entertainment news, and we're starting with this one. Kiss Daniel confirms he is married. Nigerian singer and one of the most eligible bachelors in Nigeria, Oluwatobiloba Daniel Anidugbe, popularly known as Kiss Daniel, has confirmed his marital status. This was revealed during a hilarious conversation with his fans on the X platform, where he also shared his wife's origin. He wrote, and I quote, "I'm married to an Igbo Warri girl. Nothing you won't teach me where I never hear," end of quote. A female fan then replied via the comment section with the singer's marriage won't last since she isn't the one he's married to. Wahala. She wrote, and I quote, "That marriage will not last if I'm not the one." And Kiss Daniel replied, writing, "Ego last pass original charger, my darling." Another female fan also wrote, "Leave your girl and come for me." Replying, Kiss Daniel wrote, "Can you wake up around 4:30 to make breakfast? Can you tolerate my bad habits? Very bad habits." End of quote. This news has since broken the hearts of many female fans whose prayers have always been to get married to Kiss Daniel, and then to deliver this on International Women's Day.
It's fine. I mean, massive respect to Kiss Daniel
Yep.
for, you know, keeping it low-key.
Yes.
But I mean, I thought everybody knew already. Like, I thought everybody knew. But I mean, we know that he has a woman in his
Yep,
life.
of course.
And then with his children. So we all knew that for a long time.
And people have guessed several times.
Yeah. I like the bands. I like the bands
love
between
it.
himself and how he's making it jovial and funny between himself and the fans. Of course, fans will always say, "What's married? It's okay, it's fine. He's married, he's taken." Everybody can rest.
I just hope the crazy people who do not mind will not slide into his DM, because please, he's happily married, like he said.
Have you
Original
ever-
charger.
Have you ever slid into any celebrities' DM?
Funny enough, I think yes, for work. Yes, for work.
I'm not interested in that one.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
Mohbad's wife serves father-in-law pre-action notice over defamation. The wife of late artist Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, Wunmi Aloba, has served a pre-action notice on her father-in-law, Mr. Joseph Aloba. According to the pre-action notice, Wunmi is demanding an apology from Mr. Joseph Aloba for defamatory, insulting, and libelous social media and newspaper posts and publications about her. Wunmi, who served the notice through her lawyers, claimed that her father-in-law lately resorted to defaming her through name-calling and also dragging her image into the mud. Part of the notice reads, and I quote, "We have been consulted, briefed, and our services retained by Mrs. Aloba Cynthia Omoumi. Hereinafter referred to as our client, and at our behest, we write you in respect of the above subject. Our client's brief reveals that you have recently resorted to a newspaper campaign of calumny, character assassination, name-calling, defamation of characters against her, and use of reckless language to portray the image and personality of our clients to gain cheap attention and sympathy from the unsuspecting members of the public," end quote. This is also coming after Mr. Joseph Aloba recently asked the Nigerian police force to investigate his son's wife to ascertain the real cause of his death. He made this plea following a recent social media post where she expressed her knowledge of critical information related to Mohbad's death. A letter through his legal team reads, and I quote, "It has come to our attention that Omomi Adebanjo, the wife of the late Mohbad, who expressed her knowledge of critical information related to his death. We urge the relevant authorities to extend an invitation to Omomi Adebanjo to provide her testimony and insight into this tragic event," end quote. "We believe that our cooperation and testimony could be instrumental in shedding light on the circumstances leading to Mohbad's demise. We implore you, the police, to prioritize this investigation and take swift action to uncover the truth behind Mohbad's death. The Aloba family and the public deserve closure, and justice must prevail," end quote.
Wow.
So, in all of this, I saw the part where his own lawyers sent a letter, and in the letter, they referred to Wunmi as Omomi Adebanjo. They're just glossing over the fact that she's actually Aloba because she's married to their son. And that's where family drama starts to take place.
Exactly.
That's an insult to her personally because, I mean, she's also known as Aloba. She's Aloba. She's Mrs. Aloba, not Omomi Adebanjo.
So thanks for pointing that out because a lot of people have been saying, is she his wife, is she his fiancé? And I was having a conversation with some people recently and we're talking about the fact that some of them are not legally married. They've done traditional and everything, but they don't have that certificate to prove that they are married. So imagine they weren't legally married and let me say she doesn't have a certificate to prove, then at the end of the day, they say, oh, they're not married. But now back to the story. This has been going on for too long. We've seen a lot of people call Wunmi out on social media. There have been a lot of negativity from people regarding her, especially on the matter of the DNA. People saying, okay, his grandfather wants to know if he's his grandchild, so go and do the DNA. And it's been a whole lot of pressure. But in the midst of all of this, we've seen Omomi once or twice record videos dancing happy, saying, the last one was, I think, a gospel song where she was saying, I got to vindicate her or something. So now, I feel like maybe it has gotten to here and she decided to just go the legal route. Because investigation is still going on. We've still not gotten the cause of death. There's still a lot that needs to be unfolded that we're waiting for. And it's been how long? It's been a long time.
It's actually really messy how we handle issues here in Nigeria, especially legal issues. The fact that they're going on social media, they're going on platforms to throw words at themselves is very, very unprofessional. If the case is already in court, let it be in court. Let it be handled in court. We don't see situations like this outside country. Once it becomes a legal case, anything you say can be held against you, you know, all that stuff. But I mean, we hope that this is resolved, and we don't have to hear any more family drama. Let's actually find out what happened to Mohbad.
Like, are we not
even
already?
gotten to that. Well, I mean, before we go on with the entertainment news, which we have so much in stock for you, we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
That Amara found guilty of involuntary manslaughter of the shooting of Helena Hutchins. The Amara on set of the film Ross Anagiteros Reed has been found guilty for her role in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on a New Mexico film set. If you would recall, Helena was fatally shot by Alec Baldwin, who also served as a co-producer on the film while he was rehearsing a scene for the movie. It was reported that Alec Baldwin pointed a prop gun at the late cinematographer during rehearsal on October 2021 when the weapon fired, hitting Helena and wounding the film's director, Joel Souza. Now in a different twist, the Amara, who's responsible for ensuring that all firearms on the set were safe, has now been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter by a New Mexico jury. Prosecutors had alleged that the weapons supervisor loaded a fully functioning .45 revolver gun used by Baldwin with dummy rounds and at least one live round. Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey said in the trial's closing statement, "She was negligent, she was careless, she was thoughtless," end of quote. She also described constant, never-ending safety failures on the film set by Hannah Gutierrez Reed, showed an astonishing lack of diligence with gun safety. Just so you know, Hannah Gutierrez Reed had also faced a charge of tampering with evidence, but the jury found her not guilty on that count. After the verdict was read, she was taken into custody immediately, and now her attorneys plan to appeal the conviction. The Amara, who had pleaded not guilty, faces up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. Her attorneys, on the other hand, have argued that she was being used as a scapegoat in the incident, which they claim Alec Baldwin was ultimately responsible for. Baldwin has also pleaded not guilty as he's set to face his own trial in July. David Halls, the film's assistant director, was also sentenced to a 6-month suspended sentence with unsupervised probation, a $500 fine, 24 hours of community service, and a firearm safety class on a charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon. Halls testified for the defense, speaking to Reed's competence as an Amara and stating that he took responsibility for the shooting.
Oh, well, I know that justice takes a long process. Everything has to be verified. Everything has to be checked. Everybody has to know that, okay, we have actually gone through this rigorously and this is the verdict. But I mean, it's a no-brainer because the person who's the armorer is the one who loaded the weapons and handed it to the actor where they're doing a rehearsal. And in rehearsal, because it's not live rounds, director says shoot, and he shoots. And this is the chaos that we've all faced.
But where we have a problem with Alec is where he said he never fired it.
Yeah, you see,
so
I feel like...
That's where there's a problem in his own case.
At this point, I feel like it's the lawyers that actually make this situation difficult because lawyers will come to you and tell you, say this, don't say this, don't say this. I mean, just say it as it is. Just say the truth in the beginning. I know everybody wants to save themselves and not, take blame for anything. But at the end of the day, knowing the legal system, knowing the judiciary system outside the country, knowing the judiciary system, they will definitely investigate and get to the rock bottom of this. Over time, we've actually been, contemplating, is the armorer guilty? Is she not guilty? There were certain sites to the story where they said she was under intoxication, others.
Yeah,
there were lots of sites to this story. So at the end of the day, you're not even supposed to put a live round. At all. There should be no live round. It's a movie set. If you want the aesthetics or the sound of the gunshots, in post-production, they do all of that. So it's a situation where I'm happy that it has gotten to this point. And I hope everybody gets, treated the way they're supposed to.
And then at this point, it seems like a no-brainer because even though they're going to appeal the conviction, the fact that the assistant director who was on set when it happened was the major witness in her case. And he testified, spoke about her competence and how she used to rely and how she used to behave on set. Well, I guess maybe that's why the verdict was the way it was. Because you have someone who knows her so well, who was working with her, who was on set, and then the person is saying this. It means that there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there were other issues on set as
well. Of course, apart from this one.
Before this incident happened. I mean, also, it's probably on their own part, lack of safety precautions and all that, because if you had seen a build-up of all these mistakes and failures on set, then you should have taken extra effort to make sure that this doesn't happen. Or
even replace her. Before it gets to that.
All right. I mean, that's enough we've had with entertainment news for today.
Welcome to Social View, beautiful people that are in-house artists. It'd be like, you and your babe, so on ESplash, we said Onipo is the lead singer, but it'd be like you go be male lead singer so that you will not quarrel. Jepo!
I had drops most.
You do things. Okay, so welcome to Social View, the place you can get your daily fix of the fun and craziness going on in the world of social media. Mr. Flames, are you ready?
Let's get it.
Okay. Let's do it. So, all of you that have been complaining about Lagos, this person says, Lagos can be something else. This Lagos is so wild. We were all struggling to enter a bus, and someone I don't know carried me from the back and put me in the bus.
Did you enter or did you not enter?
And did you thank the person? Oh, wow.
The person probably thought you are wasting time. Enter this bus.
Exactly, because when you get in, the person will enter. So, you're blocking the person from entering. Do you know how long that person has been at the bus stop? So they helped you. And you should say, thank you.
The funny thing is you probably don't know who the person was. Because everybody's rushing at the same time. They'll just carry you and drop you inside.
At least they carried her inside, not to the back. Or they didn't drag her bag.
Be grateful.
Exactly. So this is to people who do not ask questions. If you think you're having a bad day, remember, this lady is standing in line behind 3 mannequins. If she tap them or she asks questions, she's going to say a mannequin.
I wonder how long she will stand there before she realizes.
So I feel like she'll get to a point and say, this line, I know they move. And they'll say, oh, madam, sorry.
It go pain her. It go pain her. Sorry, ma. Sorry.
Wow, I feel so bad for her. But they look real, don't they? Okay, so now Brother Shaggy is in shock. And this is between Babe and somebody. Babe says, texting me, wanna hang as par. And then the response is, when women don't like you, anything you do is a problem. That's not true. Even if they like you. No, even if they like you and you do something they don't like, they will tell you. They'll clear you. But they will not be angry.
If a fine
boy
that you have been eyeing, a fine boy that you guys are talking, and you think that there's potential, he tells you want to hang, won't you say yes?
No, I'll say, what do you mean? I will ask questions. Me, I go ask you. Aspa. I might not even say Aspa, but I'll say, what does hang mean?
Well, see, it's International Women's Day, so I'm not going to argue with you.
No, talk now.
You can have the floor. Enjoy yourself.
This is the same way I'm
resume
looking
tomorrow.
at you.
We'll resume.
This is the same way I'm looking at you. So this one says, not say you look good too. Be like, say, I don't see wife. Nurse, they do a job. You the nurse feelings. Wow. well. But now you see nurse say you look good, and she say you look good too.
I just remember one of my guys in the hospital one time. They say, women with the guy said, I don't want to go outside here.
Why?
Let me not cast him.
Oh, fine, hot nurse, Abby. All those white people, sickness go, they hungry them. People who don't like hospital.
It will not be sickness, though.
Oh, it was love.
That's more, don't worry.
It was love struck. All right, so we have Sophia making an appearance, and it says, I want to go back to Nigeria. I'm not happy here in Canada. Toddler opens up. And the response is, give him anointing oil, make it drink before it's too late to.
In fact, there was an actual video where this child was crying to her mother and and to his mother and his father. And he was crying that, I don't like Canada, I want to go back to Nigeria. If you see the comment section.
Before. Because the parents might have taken loan, would have gone through rigorous activities to make that possible. Do you know some people sell their properties just to relocate?
No, definitely.
Exactly.
I mean, but it's understandable for the child.
Exactly. Change of environment.
Change of environment, change of friends, change of everything that, you know. He doesn't care. He doesn't even know that there's hardship. The child doesn't know. Or there's anything that propelled the parents to leave where they were to relocate to another country. So, I mean, it's just catching.
Especially when the child is just saying, boy, come here. And you say, hi, Bamba. Is it? What's it this? And on that note, we're done with social view for today and this week. And we do hope you enjoyed every beat of the craziness. We'll be back with our guests, so guys, stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. And it's still the #1 entertainment show in the whole wide world. I said it, we know it, you know it. And it's about time for our guest this afternoon. Our guest this afternoon is a Nigerian Afrofusion and Afro R&B singer, songwriter, and musician. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome to the show, E-Major!
Thank you.
Bye-bye, fresh.
Great.
Thank you, sir. You too, man. You guys.
No, we knew we were coming, so we were like, let's keep it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know, thank you. Thanks for doing that, man. But I see you guys always doing it anyway. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about you as an artist. You've been in like 2 bands. You were in a band with Flavor.
Yes.
And then you were in another band, Lace.
That's right.
Like it's been a long time coming. Let's talk about your journey.
Yeah, I mean, my journey has been great, as you pointed out. I've been, with lots of different bands, a cappella groups, in the past. One of the bands, Sound City Band, Flavor, got on the band when, I left. But, he was there before, but not really as one of the band members, but he was kind of like watching us doing things, who knew, right? So, but other than that, then I played with, my Lace group, we did a cappella, we did, lots of different shows, college shows, university shows and stuff like that.
I mean, there was a point, I was reading up and I saw Two-Face debut as well.
Yeah. Back then, Two-Face was, he was also doing radio jingles back then. I think he used to go by Lord Ailey back then.
Yeah. That was a long time.
That was a while ago, man. So it was more like a rival, but silently. Everybody's just I have to outdo you, and you got to do me. So, and it was the radio jingles that was the thing then, because you would have the radio stations always repeating, your jingle, so thereby your voice is now heard, right? So it wasn't like it is right now. So anyways, I mean, it was great, man. So he was there.
I mean, looking at your portfolio and where you're coming from a time where it was actually, no disrespect to music now, but it was original musicians in the sense that it was instrumentalists. Everybody knew how to play an instrument.
That's
Everybody knew how to actually make, from Flavor to Two-Face to all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what is now, and you've been there through the time till now. How's that journey been?
The journey's been great. I mean, I haven't. It's one of those things that I was there, then I wasn't. I had to. Life happens. I moved to America. Went to school and all that stuff. So it wasn't. But I was still keeping my ears and my eyes, seeing what's going on. Just to make sure that I'm not missing out on a whole lot. Yeah. Right, so it's been quite a journey, and you were right about that. Music has gone through a series of metamorphoses right now, as we can see. So we're seeing music really changing as everyone is coming into it. But back then, it's a lot of hard work. Not that it's not hard work right now, because to write a song, to come up with a vibe and all these things, it's you got to think a lot, right? But back then, as you said, it was analog. You got to play instruments. You really got to sing. They have to hear you sing. People need to hear your voice.
And if you're recording, you have to record like
you have to. Yes, 8-track. You know what I mean? So that's how it was. But now it's the digital age has made it a little easier for us. Looking back from where we came from, now it's actually easier. I bet people nowadays probably think like, no, that's not true, because this is harder. But we're just comparing from back then and now. So. Yeah.
Okay, now dropping songs, getting all that you want to get. How has the reception been since you got back? And then okay, let's talk about the reception first before I talk about the trend I've noticed with your music videos.
Oh yeah, the reception's been great. I mean, thank you to my fans, all my fans out there around the world, because music it's a universal language, as we know. So everybody, loves, especially when you're doing it right, you're dedicated, you're willing to stay on the cutting edge, you're persistent in what you're doing. So it's been great. I've been, getting a lot of fans, telling me they like my style of music, which is Afrofusion, and the type of lyrics that I choose to talk about. Sometimes I give the people what they want. Sometimes I talk about what I want to talk about, right? So, I mean, it's a little bit of both, right? So, but yeah, it's been great.
I mean, there's so much I want to talk about.
Yes, there
so
is.
much, definitely. I mean, I feel like there's a lot that you have to tell us as well.
Of course.
Yeah. But before that, let's give a vibe. Let's let the people see E Major live in action. Let's check it.
My soul. All of my guys, they want me. All of my guys, they want me. Say, hey, whoa, you go under my soul. As you enter my eye, capture my heart, come to my soul. Enter my eye, capture my heart. And all of my guys, they want me. All of my guys, they want me. And whoa, till you go under my soul.
I was about to drop a verse, but I say no.
Oh,
no. Amazing.
But we can't have you outshine.
I was like, no.
So hold on.
It's your
E Major.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So before we went on the break, I was talking about a trend I've noticed in the music videos.
Yeah.
You and Big Brother Naija alumni. You've had CC, you've had White Money, and most recently you had Ilebaye.
Yeah.
So what's that about? Because we have J-Paul for your next video.
Is that right? Man,
I'm shaking my head.
No, I mean, I'm friends with a lot of Big Brother. It just happens to be Big Brother, but we're friends.
Oh, nice one. We're friends now.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. From Bootsy to White Money. Teddy. Teddy. CC. I mean, we're all friends. So yeah, that works out that way.
I mean, I mean, listening to your sound, and I'm sure everybody now can understand where you're coming from, because your sound you're very musical.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very musical. Your lyrics, your arrangements, we can tell that this guy don't take where they come from. But the question I want to ask you is, I mean, you went abroad for a while.
That's right.
I mean, you left Nigeria, and at the time you left, our music was still not yet big on mainstream.
True.
And then you've witnessed Afrobeats become mainstream
No doubt.
out there. How has that been for you and your push for music, especially from that end as well?
It's just made me immensely proud, to be honest, because it's been a long time coming. I've always told people that, you know, this is what we should have had. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you talk about music and the dispersive music, you know, around the world, it's always been the slaves, you know, so-called Africans, you know, especially West Africans that took the music to the, you know, to the rest of the world, to Americas, you know, and everywhere else. So, you know, we created all those different genres of music. You know, if you go all the way back to the start of those music, is those slaves that came from Nigeria, from Togo, from all those different places that actually started it, but we never got the recognition that we, you know, we rightly deserved. So thank God that Afrobeat, we kept on doing it, and now, you know, we have the recognition. So it makes me proud. And this is just, you know, tip of the iceberg, because it's going to get bigger, and it's going to keep getting bigger. So it's a genre that's not going away.
Okay, so the song My Soul was inspired by a real-life experience.
No, My Soul is just a song, you know, like, you know, it's an International Women's, you know, Day, right? You know, so that's great. It's a song for all lovers in the world, really. You know, it's really not specifically for anyone, because, you know, I think love is the most powerful emotion.
Love conquers all.
It conquers all. That's what the scripture says. Love conquered all. And also the same thing with light and darkness. So I talk about love and hate being the powerful force. But, you know, love actually conquers hate. Just like a little speck of light in darkness disappears.
This guy did drop wisdom.
We should have had you on a Monday, so come and give us motivation.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you need.
I mean, you mentioned a tip of the iceberg, and you've done a lot of shows in Nigeria as well. You've done with Small Doctor. You've done quite a lot of things. Going forward, and you're pushing your music now. What do we expect? What's in the works? What are you working on? What's happening?
I mean, my apex there is O2 Arena, man. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm gonna go. And mark my words, because that's gonna happen. You know, God willing.
You said it here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but you know, because you know, I've gone to Afrochella, you know, 2 years ago in Ghana. You know, I've always wanted to do that, and I did it. You know, Afro Nation is another one I want to go to. You know, so. Then we have a lot of things in the works, you know, with as pertains to more singles and then collaborations that's gonna come later on. But now well, we don't know yet. You know, it's just my label decides all that. But you know, I mean, it's gonna happen eventually.
So if you want to reach you on social media, what are your platforms?
Yes. So it's _official on all my platforms. You know, TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, you know, EMajor, EMAJOR _official.
Nice one. Nice
All right, thank you so much for coming. It was great to have you here
having
you serenading the women. Since it's International
captured
Women's
their
Day,
souls.
you captured their souls. You know they hear what? All right, and that's it with our guest.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Guy, it's the attitude, the energy, the flexibility. It's everything for me.
I'm ashamed of myself. Like this mixed race kids, they can do everything. I saw a video where a mixed race kid was speaking Igbo. And he was speaking it so fluently. I was like,
So I have a lot of friends who are raising their children abroad, but they are teaching them about the culture and the language
this is
of
so
Nigeria.
So beautiful.
Yes, really beautiful.
All right. We've come to the end of the show. This is the part where we don't like to say goodbye, but we have to say goodbye. Don't worry, it's not going to last. We'll be back on Monday. But we want you to have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. Happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women out there. We love you so much, and we cannot do without you.
Don't forget, invest in women to accelerate progress.
Yeah, you heard it from Catherine was on the show today. And we're signing out, ladies and gentlemen. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. J4, have fun.